So I was listening to Spotify the other day, and to be specific, I ran across a band called fingereleven. I've been a fan of them for years. Um, was first introduced to them 20, 25 years ago, actually longer than 25 years, um, with a song called Above. It was a late night video show. Ran across it. I'm like, ooh, this is really good. And then I kind of lost track of them. And then in 2003, I believe, they came out with a self-titled album. For some reason, I can't speak at the moment. And the big hit that came off of that album was called The One Thing. So as I was going through the playlist on Spotify, and it was like, this is fingereleven, and it's like the essential stuff, whatever. I ran across a song, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know this from somewhere else. And it turns out I'm like, this is Pink Floyd. What? I did not know that fingereleven covered Pink Floyd. So kind of the way, a bit of the way through it, I'm just like, this is kind of dark. I think a little bit more dark than Floyd's version. So I stopped about a third of the way through it. I stopped and I went and found the Pink Floyd version, and I listened to that. And there were some subtle differences between the two, but they were very similar. But I do think that from a person who loves darker music, dark techno, really heavy low end bass and drum and stuff like that. If you listen to Korn or Nine Inch Nails, I mean, Nine Inch Nails is the biggest one. And then several others like that, Sisters of Mercy, if you ever listen to Darkwave on Sirius XM, stuff like that. Huge fan. But there was just a subtle quality differences in between the two. The how Pink Floyd created their emotional atmosphere, for lack of a better term, was through the keyboards. And so it was a really kind of high pitched and stuff like that, where fingereleven did it through all through guitars. And so it had some of those pitches, but there was a different quality to it. So and actually also the vocal quality of Scott Anderson, who's the singer of fingereleven, lent a little bit of a darker feel to it, as opposed in juxtaposition to Roger Waters and Dave Gilmour of Pink Floyd. While if you were to listen to them both fairly quick, there wouldn't be much, you probably wouldn't detect much difference, but there was just the subtleties in the fingereleven that just gave it a little bit more darker thoughts, for lack of a better term. That's going to be a key phrase of mine, lack of a better term, because whatever. So check that out. If I'm interested to hear others' opinion on that, because Floyd has always been this dystopian music. In my opinion, I grew up on Pink Floyd, growing up in the 70s and early 80s, and through that time before I got into new wave and all the different stuff that I got into, growing up in my preteen, adolescent time, it was Pink Floyd, and and several others along those lines. But I was very familiar with Pink Floyd, and it was interesting to hear another band's twist on it, which is interesting, but I didn't think that fingereleven did enough with it, although they are a little bit darker. So like, comment, share, that type of stuff. Comment in the vein of, you think I'm full of shit. If not, if you think I'm full of shit, that's fine. If you agree with what I'm saying, that's fine too. We can discuss it. I have absolutely no problem with that. This is an opinion. So I enjoy both. I just felt that fingereleven's was a little bit more dark. So you guys have a good day, and let me know what you think. All right. See you later.